Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot by Tilly Walden. The website in the bottom is liminal11.com. Feel free to check that out if you'd like to. Supportive Oracle cards are You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here is rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. What do we have for Cancer? Like, all of these want to come out at once. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. They're like in a pile there. We'll let it. We'll see what happens. Okay. Information coming your way. A lot going on. A lot. Okay. You're trying to keep an eye on whatever's going on here, but you're like, I don't know what's going on here. There's discord. The Five of Wands is there. Five of Fire, Five of Torches, and this. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot to literally hold on to, like literally, the cards. But there's so much going on. There's people who cause issues and then just seem to ditch. There's people trying to get in the middle of things to try to fix it, causing more fire, causing more issues. There's a lot of like people going different directions, people not agreeing, people kind of like, it's almost like people want to do things their way, but they want to be the leader or something. I don't know, but then they don't. And then they start leading, and then they drop it, and then something like I don't know what is going on. I feel like literally you don't know what's going on. You just know there's somebody trying to mediate things that seems to be failing miserably. Then there seems to be a couple other people who just like start and then finish. They start and walk away, then they start up again, then they walk away. A lot of confusion. How bad is the problem is a great question that has no answer at this moment. It's kind of like, what is really going on here? And it seems like people are getting involved in each other's business, and they're like, I'm getting like a lot of finger pointing going on here. It seems like a mess. You know, it's either hitting or it's not. I know some people would be like, I know that I see these comments every now and then. I watched the reading and it didn't seem to make any sense to me. Then a week later, it makes perfect sense now. Maybe so. Keep in mind, maybe this is going to happen any moment. Because I've seen people do that. They're like, well, when I watched it originally, it didn't make any sense to me. Then a week goes by and literally everything happens. I'm like, okay. So hopefully this is giving you some type of heads up to help, or at least have some type of sanity during this moment. Because I see a lot of this moon card. Like, I don't know what's going on here, and it's making me uncomfortable. You want to help. You want to help heal. I feel like you want to like fix it, but you're like, I don't even know what's going on, and you're very much also the person like, I'm not looking to make it worse, so I don't know what's going on. I'll help if I can help make it better, but I don't want to just add to the manic craziness. I don't want to do that. So, especially where it's not fun. It's not a fun thing to do. That's not a meatball, but for some reason to me I keep thinking about a meatball, looking at that thing rolling on the floor and people like having a fit, like people just freaking out, like, wow, there's food on the floor. I just see people freaking out. When I'm seeing this, I feel like whatever's going on here, I do feel like there's an overreaction. It's kind of like, you know, when you have dinner and if it ends up on the floor, it's one meal. But if somebody has a very strong reaction to that, they've probably got other things going on in their life. It's more than likely not the food itself. It's probably something else that they're having issues with. I'm just saying. So I don't like the idea of telling somebody they're overreacting. But for example, you see a meatball roll on the floor and somebody bursts into tears. It's kind of like taking that step farther to realize, all right, that meatball is not that important, but there's probably something else going on for them. That, like, there's something else going on. Not that you should be quizzing them on what that is, but just realizing, like, that emotion is coming from somewhere. It's probably not literally the meatball on the floor. They might think it is, they might say it is, but if there's something that intense coming forward, there's probably something else that's a problem. I'm just saying. So, like, think of that. I don't know where that's going to take you, but again, I wouldn't quiz somebody on that. But I like, sometimes I think of that stuff, like, it seems like an overreaction, and maybe for this specific situation, yeah, that kind of fits. But there's probably something else. There's a lot of fear going on here, I'm feeling, too. Fear of what they've said. Fear of something. Fear of communication. Fear of... This is the card I'm seeing. I like the Queen of Swords. I don't like that a lot of people paint her as, like, this vicious, nasty person, because I don't think that's true. She's usually quite smart, and she holds her ground, and if somebody steps on her toes, she can make a point and be like, no, don't be doing that. But she also has the ability to be kind and choose her words very wisely. She's very intelligent. And the reason I'm pulling this forward is because there's a fear of something that was said in the past that may have made sense at the time, but later on, as more information has come forward, it's kind of like looking at it differently. It's kind of like looking in the past and kind of like, oh, she was mean, she was nasty, she was always mean to him, blah, blah, blah. Then, 3 years later, you found out, well, he stole her money. He left her without a car a couple times. He didn't pick her up from work and said he would. He turned out to be cheating on her, like, with 5 different people. So it's kind of like when you get the rest of the information years later, you're like, well, actually, no wonder she was upset. No wonder she was angry. No wonder. It's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of like, now that I know that, okay, well, yeah, okay, yeah, no, totally, makes sense. There's this mess. Is it gonna end soon? No, but we're gonna pretend like everything is great. Okay. There's some type of event with these people going on, probably within the next month or so. Well, I mean, it's that time of year, I suppose. For whatever, it doesn't have to be a holiday thing. Could be, there's an event. I feel like you're going to be there with these people. Everybody's going to kind of like just chill out and everything's going to be fine. It's not over. Whatever the problem is, it's not over. It still lingers, but it's like on mute. It's on mute. It's not on pause because I feel like the problem is still actively going. It's on mute. Like people aren't talking about it. They're maybe pretending some things are better than they are. So for whatever this event is, everybody's like, I feel like everybody's putting on a mask. They're just pretending they get along for whatever reason. It feels very business to me when you know that certain people don't like each other, but then it's a business function, so they have to have a certain face, and they all act like everything's great and cool, and we're buddies and we back each other up, and yeah, with a spear in my back, sure you do, sure you do. I don't know. Be careful of that. Be aware of that. Because I feel like it's confusing, kind of like, wow, we were just at each other's, they were all like driving each other crazy, and now they're all buddy, like it's just like whiplash. It's such a change. It's not real. I keep seeing the clouds in the background. It's not real. It's just flat out not real. What is Cancer supposed to do with this? Because I feel like you're experiencing in this, and they're like, what am I supposed to do with this? What is Cancer supposed to do with this? Stay out of it. Stay out of it and you'll be happy. It's a mess. Whatever it is, I don't feel the information coming to you. I get the Two of Swords, which is a block. It's like, don't get involved. And then I get the Sun card. Disconnect from this. Whatever this is, there's a lot of left, right. There's a lot of like... everything changes so fast, and people are just... it's weird. Something is really weird here. I would back out of it for a while. Because I'm getting the Sun card by staying out of it, and they're like, there's people who maybe you don't see very often. Connect with those people. Like if you have some relatives that you haven't been hanging out with for a while, but you do like them, or there's maybe some friends that once in a while, maybe once or twice a year, you see not very often. Look them up, hang out with them, create some type of event. Like let's go to dinner, let's go to the park, let's do something. Like maybe we just hang out and have a movie date with somebody that's away from this situation. In fact, if you can literally go and visit them, like so that like you're outside of your normal area, like go and visit them, like physically go. I feel like that'll work for you. Whatever this is, I feel like if you step far enough out of it and go see other people for a while, it seems to protect you. The energy's all over the place. I don't see that going better. I feel like these people have to fix their own problem. You want to help fix it, but I don't see you being... you're not given the fair information to do that. You know what I mean? It's like somebody asking you to make a chocolate cake and then they hand you, a sack of potatoes. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, you can make a chocolate cake out of that. And you're like, no. But they're like, no, you can. And I'm like, no, I can't. All right, well, then here's some turnips. There you go. Now you can do it, right? No, you really can't. You're not getting a proper chance with the information. It's all over the place. I just feel like if you stay out of it, it protects you. These people have to fix their own problem. And I feel like that mediator, whoever the mediator I saw in the beginning, the high priestess energy, I was feeling like somebody's trying to like deal with it. I feel like sooner or later they're going to get exhausted, and I feel like either they're going to get sick and they're just going to have to step out for a while, or they're going to get fed up with it and they're going to step out for a while. The situation does feel like it's toxic, and it's something those people have to solve themselves. I feel like people have to back off and let certain people, because it seems like there's manipulation going on here. It's like when people try to help, they're being pitted against other people, and like there's a lot of manipulation. If you step back, the more people that step back, the simpler the problem becomes. It becomes more and more simple, and when it gets really simple, then it's like easier to fix whatever the problem is, which it still seems like a mystery to me. So you staying back and like doing other things and enjoying life is really best for everybody, especially you. Because I just feel like people have to step back. The more people that step back, the simpler it gets, whatever this issue is. When enough people step back, it's going to be blatantly obvious what the actual problem is, and then it can actually be solved. There's a big change coming for this situation. There's going to be people who kind of divide and go their separate way. There may be people who are related to each other. If that happens, though, it may be that may be the only version of peace. I have certain relatives that I don't see very often. There's certain relatives when I say don't see very often, it's been years, maybe 5 or more, and I'm at peace with that. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Things solve themselves in their own ways. That may happen. I get the appreciation. Like, I feel like people have to make their own peace with it. By the way, if it's a family thing, by being outside of it and protecting yourself from whatever's going on with them, you can easily still stay connected with whoever. Anybody you want to stay connected with, you can easily do that. You just realize not to add them into the same situation. Like, so if Uncle Joe and Aunt Susie are just like, get bent, they don't like each other. And their brother and sister, we're just going to say, you just hang out with them on your own or separately. You don't invite them to the same thing, or if you do, they're probably going to not want to deal with each other. It could be a little bit uncomfortable. But your connection with each of those people is fine. You don't have to worry about that after it's been solved. Just to be fair. Hopefully it helps. All right. I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.